Hi everybody, this is going to be a how-to video for the supplies that I use for painting my Reborn dolls. It's kind of basic. A lot of you may already know a lot of this, but I felt like I needed to do this to just share some of the basics. Okay, so let's begin. I use any air dry paints, and this is the medium that I add to the air dry paints along with the distilled water to make the paints adhere to the vinyl. This is a must. And I also use this medium to seal my babies at the end. And it also removes shine. You have to really know how to use it, though. It takes a lot of practice. And so that's what I use to mix my air dry paints with, along with distilled water. Let's see, where will I start? I guess I'll start with the brushes and the sponges. This is a cosmetic wedge. This is an absolute must-have. I apply my paints to the vinyl with this. I apply my final coat with this. I use this to pounce the paint into the doll vinyl. For mottling, sometimes I pluck holes out of that with a pair of tweezers, and sometimes I use a sea sponge. I wet the sea sponge and then wring it out so it's not really wet, just damp. And I use my mop brush. This is the most important brush I find. It's a mop brush. I think this is a 1/2-inch mop brush. I put the paint on that and brush it on the dampened sea sponge. This one has big holes and this one has little holes, depending on what effect you want. This kind of gives great little like broken capillary type of effect, and this gives a nice even modeling effect. So getting back to the brushes, this is a fan brush. This is made out of nylon. I use this to spread the glue around on the inside of the doll's head for micro-rooted eyelashes. I spread this around if I root hair, to seal the hair on the inside. And I use this when I put glue. This is the glue I use, Gem Tack. The Gem Tack, I'm sort of switching gears here, but I use the Gem Tack to seal the eyes into the eye socket in the back of the head, and then I use this brush. And I also use the Gem Tack to apply eyelashes to open-eyed babies, sealing the hair on the inside. Okay. Mop brush I use for mixing my paints, sometimes for blushing the bigger parts of the baby, like blushing the knees, blushing the elbows, blushing the heels and the bottoms of the toes, and the inside heel of the hand and the inside of the fingers. I'll use the mop brush for that, and then blot it with my cosmetic wedge. Okay, I use these kind of brushes, which are made out of nylon, for the creases. I find that nylon does better for creases. It allows for more paint to be distributed onto the vinyl than a cottony type, bristle type brush. So I use these for creases. Okay, they're very thin. This one's for the bigger creases and this is for the smaller creases. And then these I use for the hair, painted hair. This is a very, very fine natural bristle brush. And this weird looking thing is for the hair, and it's a nylon brush, And it's got a really long bristle that allows you to kind of really be creative in your swirling of the hair, and it paints very fine, thin strokes, but it takes some practice, which I'm still getting used to. All right, so there you have all the brushes, the fan brush for gluing the inside of things in the head, like the hair, the eye sockets, the mop brush for mixing paints and painting the bigger parts of the blushing on the baby, these nylon brushes for doing the creases, and these fine tipped brushes for the hair, the cosmetic wedge for pouncing, and these are the sea sponges, which I brush the paint on my mop brush and then brush it onto the moistened sponges. Okay, getting back to the glues, I didn't do all the glues. This is the glass and tile medium mixing with the air dry paints for adhering to the vinyl. The E6000 is kind of like a rubber cement. That's what it reminds me of in consistency. And I use it for my pacifier magnets, both inside the mouth and on the pacifier. It's a great hold, okay? And I do not use this for gluing hair at all because it's very thick. The gem tack is what I would use if I wanted to seal inside of micro-rooted hair or eyelashes. This is what I use the gem tack for, as well as gluing the flaps of the eyes on open-eyed babies so that the eyeballs are sealed in permanently. And I use that on the eyelashes of open-eyed babies. I'm probably repeating myself, but I'm sorry. So that's how I do my painting. All right, and I hope this was helpful for somebody. And if so, please comment and have a great day. Thanks for watching.